Stop overpaying for high-end botanical art. Can you believe this entire gallery wall was made using Dollar Tree supplies? Today I'm showing you the ultimate high-low decor hack to get this designer look on a tiny budget. Welcome to CJDIY. I am C. I'm using two large wooden signs from Dollar Tree, and I've always been drawn to the classic look of ticking stripes, so I started this collection by playing with this washi tape first, with creating the stripes, with smoothing the tape firmly to ensure it sticks well to prevent paint seeping underneath. And I will add those stripes throughout the whole sign. And as you can see, it's so easy to do. You just use one tape so you can have equally divided stripes before the sign is ready to be painted out. And now that my signs are covered with this washi tape into stripes, I will add some paint with adding 2 shades of green paint, mixing them into one so I can get color that I like and into a magical green and white patterns. And for these two, I wanted contrast between the structure line into the wild beauty of nature, layering in delicate songbirds, butterflies, and vintage botanical labels. But before that, I want to make sure the paint is all nice and dry before I remove the stripe of the washi tape and have the satisfying stripes at the end. To create the botanical look, I will be using the new IOD Transfer collection, and I choose one page from Flora Greca and another page of Wilde Blumen for my second sign. And also I will add some gilded flowers, birds, labels, and butterflies as well for extra contrast. First, I'm starting off with my gilded transfer, and super easy with my scraping tool. I'm just releasing the gilded transfer on my sign. After that, I'm adding the other page, and with my scraping tool, I am releasing the transfer and make sure all these beautiful designs are added nice and smooth into my sign. And with this beautiful design, it looks like we're taking a trip to the French countryside with me as I create this vintage inspired mixed media piece. To add more gilded look, I decided to add some label on the bottom, and I added some gilded birdie and butterflies just to make it more colorful and more high-end, to look like an art piece. And after I did all those transfers, I will seal it with a clear DIY wax. And for extra elegance, I decided to add pearl borders for shabby chic finish. And as cherry on top, I'm adding a faux pearl bow, and this first sign is nice and completed. You can add it to some vintage frame or leave it like it is. And for my second sign, I'm adding some gilded transfer as well. And I just love how these transfer look. I love how the structured lines play against the delicate wild energy of the songbirds and botanical labels, and it's a perfect mix of order meets nature, framed with a soft pearl border at the end, same like my first one. It was so easy to do. I had so much fun creating all these art pieces, and they're so easy to do. If you never try IOD transfers, I highly recommend to use it. You can even add these beautiful transfers on your walls. We know that wallpaper is back in style now, so you can create amazing art pieces in your walls, create a wall art gallery. Sky is the limit. Very creative and very beautiful and unique looks for your home. I'm finishing off this sign with more gilded birdies and butterflies. For the border, I'm adding the same faux pearl ribbon. And I really like how the way I layered the birds and branches over the stripes. It creates a really professional sense of depth, and it makes the birds look like they're sitting in front of a wallpapered wall. Also, the pearl border is a fantastic touch. It frames the oval shape perfectly. And to finish off this look, I am sealing off my transfers with clear DIY wax. Also, I wanted to show you this stripe shelf seater. My daughter got it for me from Target Spot. Just a perfect piece as well, very inexpensive. And I'm sealing my transfers with clear DIY wax, and that's it for these beautiful pieces. I'm creating casting resin molds from Les Lapine IOD mold and Spring Garden IOD mold. And after I created, the lettuce will be painted with some green water paints and chalk paints as well, and bunny with weathered DIY paint. I will also be using this sign that I have in my stash with a banner. I cut off a scrapbook sheet first, and now with the Elmer glue, I will add this sheet to fit into my sign. I didn't want it to use a Mod Podge, so I don't create wrinkles and bubble. When you're using a scrapbook sheet, it is the best way to use this purple Elmer's glue. It worked miracle. So I'm adding my scrapbook sheet first. I cut off the excess on the bottom where the banner was on this sign. I'm adding another banner that I have in my stash. You can find banners like this at Dollar Tree. Just for a 3D effect, I'm adding it on the bottom. And now I will glue my lettuce and my bunny, but before that I'm adding a metal rustic effect with my bronze paint and distressing the bunny with this paint. And I am showing you how to layer textures for a weathered antique look with 3D elements, which are a rabbit and the leaf on top and the banner on the bottom, and at the end I will incorporate it with a vintage typography label, IOD transfers on the bottom, and some florals on top. And with mixing all those textures, it feels like a treasure found in a Parisian flea market. I'm showing you the transfers that I choose to add on my banner that I will mix together with some floral arrangement transfer on the sides, and on top I will also add some more floral transfers, and together with this background and the 3D bunny and the lattice, this art piece look priceless. Super easy to do, anybody can do it, and you will have so much fun creating this piece like I did. And now that I got all the transfers that I wanted to add on this banner and a sign, I am just using my scraping tool to release the transfer. And the beauty of these ribbon transfers is you can mix them with anything. They don't need to be from one booklet or one design. You can mix and match like I did with my labels and my floral arrangements. Those are from 2 different booklets and they all look perfect together. Or if you don't want to add some transfers, you can always add some napkins, stickers, lace, any kind of embellishments as you prefer. And not everybody have same taste. For framing on this wall art piece, I decided to add some wire twine to cover the holes on the banner. I'm just adding some rustic chain that I have in my stash. Looks like this chain originally came with that banner, and I'm adding my wire twine on the edges as a framing. I will use my lighter to get rid of the fuzzies from the twine. I will seal my banner with a clear DIY wax and the scrapbook sheet with a Mod Podge, and this look is done. I have ordered 2 Les Lapins mold, one that I can use in my kitchen for making chocolate. I melted some chocolate into an amazing lollipops. As you can see, I added some sticks on the bottom for my chocolate bunnies. Those are perfect sweets for Easter. I covered them with a cellophane and some cute decorative bow on the bottom. And look how beautiful they look. They look like we bought them from some chocolate store. I'm creating another piece with this tag sign and another scrapbook sheet using the same method like my previous one, with adding a Elmer glue on my scrapbook sheet and adding it into my tag sign. I am also covering the back part of my signs, even if I didn't show you guys. I'm just adding just a regular brown paper and covering it all just for nice look. I also wanted to experiment with more 3-dimensional elements. These golden bunnies and egg tucked into the wine gives such a playful, whimsical energy to the workspace, and it was so much fun creating it. For my next wall art piece, I'm using another sign that I have in my stash. I will remove the hanger on the top and I will cover this sign with another layer of scrapbook sheets. I had so much fun with those scrapbook sheets in this project. So if you're not good at decoupaging, this is a perfect method and you will never go wrong with it. Just grab random scrapbook sheets and add them into your sign into an amazing media mixture. Now that I add my scrapbook sheet, I cut off the excess on the edges and I also smooth it out with my sanding block. And since one page didn't fit into my sign, I added just a little portion on the same scrapbook sheet on the side, and when you add it together, it doesn't even look you added a piece to it. On this one, I will use another botanical transfer look, and with the background, it looks beautiful. And with these scallop edges, really lean into that antique weathered garden aesthetic. And I will add a gilded label when it says Champs de Fleurs. Perfect, cohesive with my transfer. Even that label is from the gilded booklet. When you add them all together, it looks like one amazing, unique piece. To round out the collection, I play with this deep mossy green fabric and shimmering gold butterflies transfers. It is the same process like we are adding a ribbon transfer into a wood or a paper. This time I decided to add it into the fabric for a complete art piece, and it took me a minute. After the transfer is added, look how fabulous it looks. And with this, I'm showing you transfers can be added into everything, and you can add them into any color as you prefer. Dollar Tree is selling amazing fabrics, and after my transfer is added to my fabric, I am adding it into these embroidery hoops that I have in my stash. I cut off the excess, and this wall art piece look amazing. I will also add some lace ribbon bows on top to complete this look, and I created a smaller embroidery hoop with the same fabric and adding floral Dollar Tree cutout to create a softer, more romantic vibe. And each piece in this series is a little love letter to springtime and vintage craftsmanship. And my darlings, we came to the end of this episode. If you like this content and for more, don't forget to like, subscribe, hype, and share for more. Let me know which of those creations you like the best. For any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And until next time, count your blessings. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. And that is why it's called present. Until next time, my darlings, stay blessed. Bye-bye.